Hey everybody, it's Marty the JavaScript Party. My buddy Rhett. We are just chilling. We just finished like a really long video on the space and time. It was like an hour and a half. Basically, I just finished up a new Cypress thing where there's keyboard clicks and stuff like that, and it's pretty cool. I really like Cypress. I definitely like. I wanted to try having Karma Jasmine unit tests in there, which I have a lot of experience with, but never did in my own personal projects. And Cypress, which I've never. I don't think I've ever done Cypress before. Maybe in we. I definitely worked at places where we had end to end testing. I don't think we ever had Cypress at any of them. But I do like it a lot, and I definitely would have. It would be awesome if we had that in here. But so what we have here is I have an application. I've been working on it for 100 videos now, or 99 videos now. I think this is the 99th video. And basically it has four, it tells you if we are in WebKit or if it has a speech recognition. So we are still currently in WebKit. It also gives you this API tab, which will tell you that if there was something that showed up that we didn't expect, or if there's something that we expected to be there and it didn't show up, and we got that working. And so you could just easily see that everything is in there. I guess it might have been nice to have something at the top to tell you if everything was green, but it's no big deal to scroll down. And we put it in a nice Angular material table, so that was nice. And then we did a logs that will capture any of the logs. And I don't know if the way I implemented it, if the continuous logs are going to catch or not, but like if you do a discrete and you say, one of my favorite ones is think, because for some reason it thinks I said sync. So let's try that. Think. So I got two things back. It says think now, and it did not think I said sync. Okay, let's try sync. Sync. So that's interesting. I thought I said this, which is like to synchronize, but it had seven, and it gave 37% to almost all of them and all that. So now we can see we have 18 log items that came through, and you can come through and you can kind of see all of the events that came back. So we got a start, audio start event, sound start event, speech start event, result, and this was our think one, and it only got one result back. And we had made changes to tables, and that causes a screen, which I guess is a little bit goofy. And then speech end, sound end, audio end, end, and then we got our new start one. And then if we scroll all the way down, we go find our green one, and we have our sync, and we can see everything in there. So that gets all caught up in our logs, and then we can clear it, and we have our discrete, and so this is where I guess it would have been cool, like if we had end-to-end testing on this, because like I didn't know when I clicked log if it was going to work, clear the logs if it was going to work. Like I don't have anything that tests it, but I would have had to add a few things for end-to-end testing, like maybe a recording where I could click it and it records the value. And then I don't know how the dealing with the giving access to the microphone and all that would have been. But anyways, it would have been kind of cool, like if we could have got that working. But that was a long time ago. That was like almost a year ago, and we started doing end-to-end testing maybe a month ago. So anyways, so now it's time for continuous, and we kind of have a little bit working. Basically, I think all I got working last time was like the toggle of the button. But what would be nice is if it would actually call. So I guess what we need to do is we have two choices. We could kind of go down and just try to figure out what the next hop on with ChatGPT, kind of do the sync coding. Is it called sync coding? Vibe coding. We could do some vibe coding with ChatGPT, or we could kind of look to see how we did it with discrete. And I think it makes a lot of sense to see what we did with discrete, so that maybe we could stay as in sync with the way discrete works as possible. Which, like if we ever have to fix bugs or something, we don't have to come up to speed in like kind of two different ways of doing things. I think that's probably the better way to go about that. Now, one thing I remember that we did different is over there we kind of created a record button, which doesn't really do a lot. Like if you look in here, there's just not much. It's just called speech service discrete record. So do we have, let's see what we have in speech service. Do we have a continuous record? We do not have a continuous record. Now, let's go ahead and do that. And like getting started is a lot of times the hardest part of coding, right? And so like we just sort of in the past, when we did this, we kind of set ourselves up, our future selves today, to just sort of just get rolling. It was really easy. And we'll just change this to true. And we'll just go with whatever the discrete language is. I do think that maybe we should change this. Instead of being discrete language, being language, current language, or something like that. Because to be honest with you, I really would rather those stay in sync. I don't see any reason to say, oh, in continuous, I want to try Russian, but in discrete, I want to do, I don't know, Swahili or something. I want those to stay the same. I can't imagine me saying, oh, okay, now I want to try this in a different language. I feel like as with this tool, I'd want them to be the same language. There was no way. It's so easy for me to determine that today. I could not have determined that back then. So I think interim results has to be true for continuous. It is weird that you have two things that you have to set, not just one. But it looks like I've set myself up pretty well on this. Now I probably will need to say stop record, stop continue record, something like that. But because probably at this point the only way I'm going to be able to stop it is by reloading the page. See, let's try sync. So it didn't pop up anything. So it doesn't. Did I? Oh, I probably didn't actually. Let's see. So we don't even bring in this. Bro, you don't even bring in the speech service. So we want to inject, and we don't have the inject either. We got nothing. So I think we want the little inject. So there's a big inject and a little inject, and one of them is, let me mouse over this and see. Function. Yeah, I think we want the one that's a function. And you have to give it a token. Man, I'll tell you, that token word really, for some reason I have conditioning that makes me just not, like, just sort of just turn off the minute I hear the word token. Yeah, basically it's just something. I think that's where it falls apart for me. It's something, typically a string, almost always a string, but it could be like a whole object or something like that, that is basically the key to, that is very likely the key to some dictionary that will give you something back. That's almost always what a token is. So in this case, the token is, let's say, so down there it's called speech service. So I'm going to say that this is probably speech speech service, speech service equals, and it did bring it in for me. Sort of mixed it in with the rest of those things, equals, and then we're going to use our inject function, and we're going to give it our token, which is speech service. So in this case, this is a token. I don't know what you're really giving it. I think you're giving it a link to this thing. I don't know if that's I guess that would be interesting. A equals speech service. And then I'm just going to say, it's my favorite thing to do. I was so happy the day I figured this out. So usually it'll tell you, hey, that's not a string, that's a, but it's not. Let's see. Oh, okay. So it's a type of speech service. I don't know. I don't really know what this thing is getting. And I would imagine, like, if we go in there and we look at it, see, okay, we click on this and it says it takes a token that represents a dependency that should be injected. I feel like if you read this every day for a month, this will be clear as day, and you won't be able to understand why this doesn't make sense to everybody. Okay, but that's okay. So this is a token. It's strongly typed as a provider token. So let's go to ChatGPT. In Angular, what is a provider token? This represents the key. So token and key, I think for the most part, are interchangeable words that can be seen as synonyms. Look up its dependency. So it's a key. So okay, what can be a provider token? A class type. That's what we're doing right now. An injection token, which, it's just like, okay, that didn't help. But it's a string or other, used for interfaces, strings, or other non-class values. Okay. Or in this context, are the words key and token synonyms? System key and token are effectively, they both refer to identifiers. Okay. Token is English preferred and formal term. It appears in types like provider token, API, injection token. Key is a more generic programming term used key value stores like maps, often informally to describe the same concept. So anyways, yeah, I don't know. I think what happens is, like, if I'm sitting in some sort of learning scenario and they start saying the word token, if I listen to the next paragraph of words that they say, I will be more confused when they're done talking than less confused. So I'm better off if they say, and then you get a token and blah, 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 I'm better off ignoring the next 3 sentences and then listening again when they start talking about something that I understand about. But once you get to a certain level of understanding, suddenly that kind of turns on its head and you're way better off and you have a huge leg up on everybody else. Because, in a lot of ways, programming is a game of inches, and getting these extra little inches can really make a difference for you. I think it's start continuous, was it? I know the word continuous is in. Continue record. Is that really what I called it? Sounds so weird here, but like I think it makes more sense. Discrete record, continue record, because record is a verb in this situation. Continue record. And let's see what happens. So we want to say sync. Sync. Hello. So it's definitely recording right now, but it's not giving us any logs. It's not doing anything. So we're probably not listening for the right events, and we have no way of stopping it. Okay, so let's see. I guess we should reload. But the reason I could tell it was recording, so up here there's gonna be a little thing that indicates that we're recording. Recording 1 2 3 1 2 3, yes sir, recording. But unfortunately we don't have a stop. Oh, but look at that. We did get logs. What I'm looking for now is, so it thinks there's a 0.00 like less than 1% chance that I said the word record. And now it says recording, and now it says record. Ooh, 89%. What did we get up to here? 9%, and then 89%, and it's still recording right now. So, and I don't know why it decided to start recording 1 2, recording, back to recording. Then I'm guessing I think I said 1 2 3 at some point, right? And it's still recording me right now. 1 2 3 1 2 3, 89. So let's scroll all the way to the bottom. Well, let's see, are we still, so we're up to 72 log items. And this is interesting because now it's giving different results. Recording 1 2 3 1 2 3, yes sir, Ray recording. So, oh, I said yes sir, Ray, but it says Ray, it thinks. So this is neat. And it's still recording. And I don't know, like, when the events stop. And I think that is one of the cool things about this application is, so if I go here, okay, see now we have 400. So as different events happen, I guess Angular is updating that, and we're getting all these different logs. And it is having a hard time rendering them all. So we have 480. We're going to go all the way to the bottom. So it still never got past, really. Oh, well, we're not to the bottom. Yeah, so really never got past. It's still recording stuff, but it didn't get past. And I have no way of stopping it. So let's try doing that. Let's just try to get it to stop. And it is specific to continue recording. That linguistically is very awkward. And I would think all we need is the dot stop, and I'm just guessing. And it doesn't know what a speech recognition is. I think we did have it though, like in our API, we actually have, here, so there was a start. Let's see if there's a stop. Yes, there's a stop. So that's pretty helpful. Okay, so now we have a stop, continue recording. This is cool. This is really cool. It's nice. This is not a typical coding session, right? Like where things just sort of work. So basically, we're going to say if we are in this mode, which I don't like the way this reads at all. So we're going to have to think through changing that, because we're going to say if not recording. So we're going to have to change that. Else. Because, well, what do we start? Oh, no, we start as false. So no, it is, this is, so if, so we swap it, so that'll make recording true. So if this recording, I think that's right? So when we come in, first thing we're going to do is toggle to the opposite. So we're going to say, hey, we're going to go from not recording to recording. So then we want to start recording. And then otherwise, I don't know if that's going to work. Let's try. I always get a little hung up on that kind of logics. Testing, 1, 2, 3. So we got 16, 20 logs. So testing, test, testing. So we get a lot of results back, right? Testing. Testing 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And then what's different is we got a count this time. So maybe that's kind of how, when you get like a bunch back, that means that it thinks you're done talking, or that you've said a whole sentence. And that is pretty cool. Pretty cool. Now, how we want to render that experience over here is tricky. Right, so basically we just want to be able to do that. And then it seems like we actually just want to use the same pop-up as we're using over here. So that might cause a bit of a refactor, so that we can, it's probably not in a place that it makes a lot of sense. So yeah, I think this is discrete settings dialog. We probably need to move that up and make that a settings dialog that's sitting as a sibling to continuous and discrete settings dialog, and then that'll be good. And then we get that, and then for the other question mark I have, I guess what we want to do is just only show the last one, but like show them as they come in, but only show the last one, and probably not even make it into a table until so how do we do this one? Testing 1, 2, 3. Yeah, see, when we're done, we make this a table when it's done. I think this should be like some text above there that's just like kind of the current, whatever the last results were, until we get the end, and then till we get that array, that final result with all the values in the array. Now that behavior is very, very likely to change in the future. I think that's a very awkward behavior. I bet you they've come up with better ways since then. But maybe not. Maybe it isn't an awkward behavior. I mean, I'm brand new to this. But so tomorrow, what do I want to do? So tomorrow, I want to, I guess, just start printing out whatever the latest result is on here. And I think this thing needs to be listening to a signal, and that signal, I don't know that like how it will know if it's like, I don't think I want discrete picking up continuous stuff. Like I don't want to click over here and see the stuff that I said during continuous show up over here. So I have to have a way to sort of exclude different, whether it's two different signals or whether the signal will have information to tell it, like how I want to do that. Like if I want it to kind of be like a hub where it only sends stuff to the right people. So I have two different things, and this guy's listening to discrete stuff, and then this guy's listening to continuous stuff. Or if I want to add, this is continuous and this is discrete to the existing message. And then, because I'm guessing that listens for a message. Let's look at that effect. Yeah, see, it's listening for that, and I think that's just so it knows where to put it. I think it's happening in something called discrete results or something. I think he has an effect as well. Yeah, so he's listening to this, and he's listening for first times and clear count, some different stuff, and I'm wondering if I have a voice result signal, which I have something called a discrete result. Yeah, it looks like I need to maybe build out a whole continuous result. And instead of, let me hit this little back button. And instead of, like, this should be discrete voice result signal, and then there should probably be a continuous result signal, and then they should listen to this. But I think this is all log signals, and I think that's what this one listens for, I'm hoping. So all logs signal should probably fire off no matter what. Let's see. And this isn't too bad. Like, see, this is update all log signal, and then I'm guessing that, let's see, maybe I did not. I was going to say this is not too bad. But it would get real out of hand real quick if we had like 6 different kinds of signals or something. Yeah, so basically, yeah, here. So basically, I think this on result is getting called. I probably need to add a little logic to see, are we in discrete mode or are we in continuous mode, and then fire the correct signal based on whether that. But it looks like we always want to do the all log, and I don't know. Let's go back to the all log again when the all log gets fired, because all log seems to get fired at a different. Oh, I see why. Yeah, because all logs. So I think discrete only fires when you get a result, and that's why we have the word result in there. So it only gets fired for the green ones. It's not going to get fired for the red ones. I mean, for the other ones. Now, if I remember correctly, when you move from this to this one, it's kind of wild that, I wonder, let's try that. Testing, 1, 2, 3. And then come over here. Yeah, so we don't have anything over here. So I don't know why we don't have anything. I think maybe, I don't know. I think it gets created, which you would think if it would got created, it would have picked up the old signals. But I don't know. I don't know what the down and dirty details of why this isn't picking up that, because console.log voice result signal. I don't know why I misspell L and A all the time like that. Inspect. Let's go to the console. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, see, all of those are happening, but for some reason, see, until we interact, it doesn't get fired there. And then this one, oh no, this one did pick it up. Are we still? Oh, we're still actually running. Continuous, and then it's, no, that's pretty wild. Oh no, we are still running continuous. Did I? But oh, and then it reset even though I left. So I wonder if I want to kill it. Okay, testing, 1, 2, 3. Stop. Discrete. Okay, so when I came back, when I came over here, it was not. I don't know why. It would be interesting to understand why this one did not print anything out or capture it or anything like that. Why it wasn't. And then this one didn't pick it until we left, right? If I remember correctly. So until I stopped, it did not. It didn't do it live. Now I think if I do this, and it might be, that might be a nice thing is, though, let's see, the one thing though is it is resetting itself, right? So if I say testing, 1, 2, 3, I come over here, it's still recording, but it's not picking up new stuff. And then like if I come back over here, now it's back to record, which is wrong. We're getting voice signal results as we go, right? We're getting them all the time, but we only get them updated over here unless we're on it. And it doesn't update in real time either, right? Because we're getting these results over here. So that would be interesting to dig into just from an Angular perspective to try to understand how the signals are working. And yeah, and so then it stops when we get quiet, and then it starts up again when we get rolling. But then until we come over here, until we do something with interact with there, we can't. So probably the very first thing I need to do is when I come back here, this needs to be in the right mode. It needs to either be continuous. I mean, I need to be able to stop it at this point. Then we need to find a way. We need to basically only send out the results here. See here, it's just going to keep coming the whole time. But it will only print it out when we're live. So, but it's weird because it seems like it's giving the same result no matter what. So this is weird, right? Like we never get any new stuff. So that's a interesting thing. So we got a good ways to go. It's working. Like it's definitely like all the pieces are there. So now we just need to tie them together so that this is a little bit less goofy. But it's pretty cool. It feels like we're probably less than 8 sessions away, maybe 12 sessions away from being done with this application. And that will be cool. Anyways, happy coding, everybody. Bye.